that gives you the ability to continue to grow. Because I don't want you to stop where we work on it. Right? Your confidence may have gone up watching this because you thought about all the things you've done in your career. You've thought about the education. You've thought about the experiences and how you can now apply them. So your confidence may already be going up, but it can't stop there. That's where a coach comes into play. So we're going to work with you. We're going to help you build all this up. We're going to help you research, and then I'm going to have your back because that's important too. Psychological safety is super important. So you got to subtract fear. You've got to add belief more than what you have now. So in addition, you got to multiply your. Here's an excerpt from my interview on the Career Talks podcast with Orlando Haynes. The interview was streamed live on LinkedIn. And I'm being a little facetious, don't get me wrong, but there's so many things that we're skilled in that we don't give ourselves credit for, nor do we know how to communicate those things as a perceived value that you get when you're interviewing Jamila Brown. Like I've told people and they thought I was crazy. Candace specifically, one of our co-founders, she thought I was crazy, because we've gone to different retailers collectively. That's how we met each other. And I used to say, I'm the best candidate in the pool. And it wasn't from a place of arrogance. It was because I was intentional about the things that I did and how I went about doing them, to where if I put my application in, I knew there was no one else with the same skill set and or experience in education. I knew there wasn't. So I knew I was getting a call and it was going to come down to whether or not I wanted the job, because I knew I started that process earlier to build out my resume to the point where I knew if I put that resume in the southern states, for the most part, I might not be able to compete. I'd be competing a little bit harder, maybe in some northern states, but in the southern states, there's no one with my experience.
And so let me unpack that. I'll have you unpack that, because the people are looking at this and saying, who is this Jamila Brown? I just need to touch the hem of her garment, her garment, so I can get that level of confidence and clarity.
Right.
So where did that come from?
Right.
What was that epiphany? The mechanics. So was that just homegrown? Was that built in?
I got to give credit to God, number one, but then my parents. I got a double dose of confidence. So I was raised by two extremely confident individuals, as evidenced in their marriage. So I've been told this story by my dad, who's no longer with us, as well as my mom. My mom got pregnant with my older sister, before they were married. My dad was at Louisiana Tech studying art getting a dual degree in art and history. Oh. And he was talking slow. This is my dad. I love him. But he was talking slow. So my mom was like, okay, cool, I'm out. And they didn't live in New Orleans. And so she moved to New Orleans. She had a couple siblings here. She had a plan. I don't need your dad. That was her energy. I don't need him. I'm going to raise my daughter, which is my older sister, on my own. Do whatever you want to do. It's whatever. That's the energy she was on. And we're talking, this is 1973-ish. That's the energy she was on. And so my dad, decided to close out his education early. So he graduated in, I think, about 3.5 years. So instead of getting both degrees, he just got one in art and moved to New Orleans because he's, I can't talk slow. She gonna leave me. And so that was the first time her energy showed up and I got to witness that. But then throughout the rest of our lives, me and my siblings got to witness my mom carry that level of confidence that do whatever I want to do. And so my dad too had that same confidence. And, he probably told me more than he probably said this more than he said, I love you. You can do whatever you want to do. You put your shoes on the same way everybody else does. Like he probably told me that more than he told me he loved me. So there's a level of confidence that's homegrown, but then he also taught us work ethic, both my parents. Like if you want to learn how to do something, and that's why I have a belief that I could pretty much learn how to do anything I want to do if I choose, that you just go out there and learn, practice it, which is part of the salary negotiation process. Once we work on that what you think your value is, get some salary research, really help you connect with everything that you've done in your life so you can communicate those things with confidence, because you've already done them, right? So now we just got to communicate them with confidence. We're going to practice that. Like Allen Iverson would say, you know, he got a bad rap for, but we're actually practice, okay? We're going to practice it so you can start to embody it and internalize it. And then it's going to start to translate in the negotiation process. It's going to be hard once you see it outwardly, and once your subconscious mind starts to hear it, it's hard to back off that throttle. So it's hard for someone to come to me and say, well, Jamila, I don't know if you can do that. I'm like, what? Well, my daddy told me, right? So I'm sure that's how those early conversations went.
Mr. Brown said
that my dad, and look, and I think there's something to be said. And I'm not saying that you can't get this in your adult life, but there's something to be said for someone telling you and encouraging you in that way, and then having your back. That's where a coach comes into play. So we're going to work with you. We're going to help you build all this up. We're going to help you research, and then I'm going to have your back, because that's important too. Psychological safety is super important.
Oh yeah. Huge. Have to be a safe zone for folks. Yes. I don't want people to miss the nugget you dropped when you said your dad was talking slow. So
yeah.
Let me
break that down.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. So I'll generalize it.
Are you feeling stuck in your career? Are you ready to stop going through the motions? Are you ready to start living on purpose? Well, here's the thing. I'm going to say something very radical. Throw away your goals. Oh my gosh, right? Stop looking at them. Secure your spot today for Burn the Rulebook Career Transformation Lab, and get ready to take action and transform your future. Over 3 days, we'll help you prepare, position, and live on purpose in both your career and your life. We will help you find balance. Deep dive into strategies designed to help you stop playing by the rules that have held you back and take control of your future. We'll give you the tools to execute with confidence, so that you're not just talking about it and looking at it and hoping for change, you're making it happen.
Yeah.
There was an opportunity in his hand that he moved too slow to commit to. And so that opportunity said, I'm going. I'm going somewhere else, because I don't need you. You not saying the right words. Your confidence ain't where it's supposed to be. Your commitment ain't where it's supposed to be. So if you were to translate that to what we're talking about tonight, it's the same thing. Don't talk too slow. Same thing. You talk too slow.
Same thing.
That
and he got lucky. I might not be here. He got lucky. My mama like this dirty draws. He got lucky. And they long story short, they spent, until my dad died a few years ago, spent close to 40, 50 years together. Yeah, about almost 50 years together. So yeah, not awesome. Without its bumps and hiccups, but the genuine, I think the love also showed up in how they challenged one another to be better. So yeah, but yeah, it's going to continue to show up in every area of your life. And then once you solve for it, now you got a blueprint. I'm all about mathematical blueprints and things of that nature. And I'll definitely share with the audience, if we have time, kind of a formula that I use to help people. I can do that now.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think, in math terms, it's either sports, math, or relationships for me. And for this one, I think it's important to have a mathematical equation. So if you got a pen handy, or if you want to write this down, because we've talked about a few things, and I want to make sure you have it's tied up like in a nice bow for you to really take back and do something with it, whether you hire a coach or not. You can go do something with this information. So you have to have confidence, which we've talked about. These are the elements, if you will. And how do you increase your perceived value? You have to have confidence. You have to have belief. Fear is a function of this formula as well. So you've got to subtract fear. You've got to add belief, even more than you currently have. You've got to multiply your confidence, and then exponentially showcase your value.
Ooh,
right? So
run that back. Run that back.
So, and I'm going to give you the sequence of the formula after I give you the 4. So you got to subtract fear. You've got to add belief, more than what you have now. So it's in addition, you got to multiply your confidence. And then you got to exponentially showcase your value in all areas of life so that it becomes natural. All right. So the formula is confidence times, and in parentheses, right? Because this is a extended mathematical, it's an extended formula. I want y'all to know I ain't giving y'all no basic math tonight. So you got confidence times, in parentheses, belief minus fear.
And I'm writing this down. Belief minus fear. Yep.
Equals value raised to the infinite power. So when you use exponents, part of the function of using an exponent is that's how many times your value. So whatever, let's just say V is value, you're multiplying the value. And when you multiply something, when you multiply 3 times 3, you get 9. 9 times 9, you get 1/8, whatever that number is. I'm not a math person in that way. But you get, I think it's like 92 or something. Don't quote me.
Come back. Jamila, it's actually.
I'm a math person from a function standpoint, but basic math is gone. Okay. So when you take something and you raise it to the infinite power, that gives you the ability to continue to grow. Because I don't want you to stop where we work on it. Right? Your confidence may have gone up watching this because you thought about all the things you've done in your career. You've thought about the education. You've thought about the experiences and how you can now apply them. So your confidence may already be going up, but it can't stop there. Because guess what? Just like I said, the good news is this lesson's coming back. You're going to have to do it again. You're going to have to do it again. So let's subtract fear, add belief, multiply your confidence, and exponentially showcase your value.
Love it. Love it. Yep. That's something and it's so applicable to all parts of life.
Yes.
Your entire existence, which is so powerful in that. Love that. Love that.
Yep. I truly hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed doing it for you. However, it doesn't have to end there. Come on over to our Facebook group community right now. You're going to get exclusive content that we weren't able to include in this episode as well as past episodes. We've got challenges, we've got research, we've got lives, you name it, all for you in bite-sized chunks so that you can continue this development journey. Go ahead, click the link right now in the description show notes, and we'll see you there.